All right.
Welcome back.
Episode 16.
Where did we kick off last week?
So last week we spoke about social media, and we are going to do part 2 today.
Gotta get rid of this.
And part 2, we're going to talk through what our opinions of the news are. Do we think that the news influences the public? And what we both think the negatives of social media are. Social media are, yes.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we're going to see, did our screen time go down from last week?
Yeah, because last week it was really bad.
I don't even remember what it was.
Mine was something ridiculous. The week was like 19 hours or something crazy. But
Yeah.
I think I'll have to just change the way I look at podcasts, because if I leave it open,
True.
it's not really me staring at my phone.
But
so
you can also see like what apps you've used the most.
yeah.
So I think we look at that
All right.
as well.
We'll check that at the end.
Yeah.
And I think we should also do positives on social media, because
Well, we talked about that last week, didn't we?
we touched on it a little bit. We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
What was the first one?
News.
The news. I can't stand the news.
So we don't have free-to-air TV in the house. We don't watch the news. I have the news on Facebook. I do like to see some stuff, but I must admit, if you turn the news on, it's all negative. So, like, why do you want to start your day listening to all of these bad things that happen? They never report anything good. Or, okay, that's not true. Sometimes they'll throw in a good news story, which will,
Dog riding a surfboard.
yeah. But it's very, very rare.
Yeah. I have a huge problem with it. Massive. When I got deployed in 2014 to bushfires, I remember we pulled up at the airport and a friend, as soon as we saw the cameras, I was like, you can bet your sweet ass I'm getting my face on TV. Straight up. So I lingered like a bad smell and they interviewed me, and then they took my questions and answers, took one of the questions they asked me and inserted something that I said from a completely different question. Because it made better TV, and that was the moment I realized that TV isn't what I think it is, because the person talking on the screen might not even be answering the question they were asked, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard that as well with, like, this is different, but reality TV shows. They alter what you say,
Yeah.
right, to make you come across as a certain person. And for the news, they obviously want to get whatever point they have decided across.
Yeah.
So if your answers don't portray the message that they want, they're probably not going to include it.
Yeah. Or they'll chop it up to make your bit a part of, their story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it portray what they were trying to make it portray in the first place. Yeah, it's super ugly. I can't stand it.
And I think people definitely get influenced by it. I think the whole COVID thing really showed that.
Yeah. Yeah. Going out and buying toilet paper
It was ridiculous.
in the masses.
Yeah.
And why just toilet paper?
Like, were people pooing that much?
Yeah, like we have, yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, like why was toilet paper the only thing in it? Toilet paper, rice, and pasta.
Yeah.
It was like the three
It was
things
like
that was
we were-
disappeared off the shelves.
There was an apocalypse coming.
Yeah.
Or something.
That's really what it seemed like when you walked through the shopping centre.
Literally.
And they had people lined up from that front aisle of the first place you could start paying.
Yeah.
All the way down to one end of the shop, down the freezer aisle, and then all the way along the back end of the shop.
It's ridiculous.
It was fucking crazy. And for the most part, driven by you turn the news on, and even today when it shows COVID stuff, it's all like the titles are always red. They're always talking about what's going to kill us next.
Yeah.
And anger incites interaction
And fear.
and fear, and interaction is what drives their money. Which fucking drives me wild. That's why I can't stand watching free-to-air TV. And I do roll my eyes when I hear it. When I'm stuck somewhere, like when I was stuck on the Gold Coast, just Friday gone. Oh, when was it? Thursday gone.
Yeah.
And I had to sit there and listen to the TV on free-to-air in the Toyota showroom car park, in the guest waiting area while the car was worked on. I lost brain cells while I was sitting in that guest room. It was horrendous.
Yeah. We don't watch any of it. I mean, I personally will follow news pages on Facebook just
keep up to
because
date.
I just want to know
What's
if there's
going on?
something bad happening. I'll see it through Facebook, right? sometimes I will go on news.com, but very, very rarely.
Yeah.
So, but okay, so how do you think the news could be better?
How do I think it could be better?
Like, what would they do to make you watch it?
Report on things, and I know for a fact that somebody's probably already doing this and I just don't know about it, or I haven't spent the time to work out who's doing it the way I would appreciate the news being delivered. But I just want to hear about relevant big stories, relevant global things that are going on that are relevant to all of us, like war. Like, who's at war and why? Not like tiny things about like these particular groups are arguing over that and that place bombed that place. Why? I want to know why. Like deep down.
But then I don't know if they're allowed to release that information, are they?
Well, there's plenty of like Vice. Vice is one place that I know does good interviews. Like the reporters are all like, they go into these places and talk to people whose names they're not allowed to like use.
Right.
Yeah, like they're talking to people that they technically shouldn't be speaking to. If the US government or somebody was listening, they would want to know where that person is. There is like very well done news, but for me to tune in, I would need to know that it's not biased.
Yeah.
That it's just straight facts and it's the big stuff. When people die, that sucks. That's like never a good outcome. Like no way. Even if they're bad people, and by bad people I mean that they do horrible things to people that don't deserve it. Even when those people die, it's not good, because those are people that we could fix. Is it Is it culture? Is it religion?
Not everyone can be fixed, though.
Not everyone can be fixed, but you know what I'm saying. Like maybe their children or their children's children. Like you can fix culture.
Yeah.
You can change culture. We've gone from the type of culture that our parents grew up with to Cardi B shaking her ass, and that's what everybody's fucking looking at. Like, culture changes. A lot of older people think that like the stuff that we look at now is dumb as fuck. Culture changes. I just want to see what's big, relevant, important, and not biased.
I want them to put more stuff about environmental impacts.
Yeah, with that, do you see a problem with people believing? So, like, if they put out a big story about global warming, for example, and then there's a heap of people that fire back about not believing.
Well, you're an idiot if you don't believe that it's not real.
Yeah, I agree, but how do we stop those people?
Haters are always going to hate, right?
Haters going to hate.
Regardless of what you do.
Alligators going to alligate.
But also, I think the generational shift, like, what are we? Why?
I couldn't tell you.
Z.
We could be Z.
Whatever we are.
Whatever generation we are.
And then there's the millennials.
Yep.
We all know.
Are we millennials?
We're not millennials.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I'm not going to check on you, but yeah.
I want to say we're Y.
Okay. Either way, where we...
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like trying to count the alphabet backwards. Either way, we know, and the next generation know that it's a real
problem.
thing, right?
Yeah, it's a problem.
Sorry to all the older people, but you're going to die. Like, soon, maybe
Wow.
not soon.
Just break their hearts. Half of them probably didn't know that was coming.
Like, and if you don't think that global warming isn't a thing, you're an idiot.
Ooh, shots fired.
Because there is so much out there. And, like, David Attenborough, what a fucking legend.
Absolute legend.
Honestly.
Absolute gentleman.
Isn't he? It's going to be sad when he dies.
Oh, don't even talk
But,
about
like,
it.
his documentaries that he's putting out.
It's not, and what annoys me, Jacob actually from work made a good point about this. Every time he's brought it up around his family, it goes straight to politics. I shouldn't say family, around particular people that he knows that are in his family. Yeah, that it goes straight from, is there carbon in the atmosphere and is it getting higher? Is there more of it? Is there more carbon in the atmosphere now than there was 10 years ago? And if there is, which we know there is because it's measurable, if there is, what effect is that having on the planet? Because, like, I don't know if you're fully aware of the way the carbon in the atmosphere heats up the planet, but basically the light that comes in from the sun comes into our atmosphere, and instead of hitting the Earth and bouncing off the Earth and leaving the atmosphere, because of how dense our atmosphere is with carbon, it comes through that atmosphere and it bounces off. Do you remember that little eclipse video we watched?
Yeah.
Where you could see the outline of where the sun was still hitting the Earth's atmosphere?
Yeah.
Because there's more carbon in that, it's more reflective. So when the photons, which is what I'm pretty sure is leaving the sun, gets to our atmosphere, they don't leave because they bounce off all the shit in our atmosphere and never actually leave our atmosphere, and that's what brings the temperature up. That plus, I'm sure there's a million other things with the ocean, because the ocean has a huge impact on the temperature that we experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's essentially what it is. So it's not like a debate about, well, is it or is it not happening? It's definitely happening. We know it's happening. It's measurable. There's more carbon now than there was, and the effect is a greenhouse effect, which is exactly what you do when you close a greenhouse, close a garden in with a greenhouse.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're doing to the Earth by filling it with carbon. You're not letting all the other shit out. Yeah, because it's trapped in So
do you reckon it's all going to the world is going to end before we die?
No, I think we're safe. I think we're very safe. Yeah, I'm not worried about that at all.
I have things I want to do.
I'm
not ready to die yet.
There are a certain number of really scary things that could happen, like even a big enough asteroid, and this is, I know we're getting off, we'll come back to social media, but if an asteroid big enough passed by Earth, it could disrupt our atmosphere and fuck with it. I don't know how, I don't know all the different ways, but I know that our atmosphere is subject to gravity, and if a big enough asteroid passed by and affected the gravity of that atmosphere, it could move it around, it could shuffle it, it could stir stuff up. I don't know exactly what it could do, but that could be really bad. The other thing is there's plenty of earthquakes that happen on this planet every day. I think every day. But there's definitely large volcanoes that get around.
Yeah.
Yellowstone, if that bitch blows...
Where's that?
That's in the US. If Yellowstone goes, it's going to be a huge problem.
Right. Did I make your drink strong enough?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, well, we digress there.
Digress.
Yeah, that's the word. Wow. Okay, so
What do we got?
I think that's pretty good for news.
For news?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Neither of us like it. We wish it was better, but I think that's probably the same consensus everybody has.
We don't watch it. It's fine. If we want to listen, you can read about it, right?
Yeah.
And also, if there's something groundbreaking, someone will tell you.
Yep. I've never had a problem with that.
So,
And I haven't watched the news in maybe 10 years.
yeah. The next one. So, I think we did talk about positives of social media last week, but I think maybe just list your top 3 positives for social media.
Staying connected with people would be a big one. I didn't realize I was doing 3 here, so I'm thinking of them off the top of my head. So this could change, but yeah, definitely keeping in contact with people. I can't think of anything else. That's like the benefit of social media is keeping connected to other people.
I agree.
I mean, have you got 3? Have you thought of 3?
No, I just came up with 3.
Yeah. Just pitch me a ball and hope I can hit it.
Well, I think definitely what you said. So staying connected with people, especially loved ones who aren't in the same city as you. Like, it's really nice to be able to share your experiences and stuff. I would say potentially the learning aspect. Like, you can learn a lot from social media, whether that is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is.
Yep.
Whatever you want to learn, it's available for you.
Yeah,
right?
not wrong.
So I think that that's definitely a positive. I don't know about the third one.
Well, coming back on what you said, what about Nat's What I Reckon? How many people do you reckon he's taught to cook over COVID?
Yeah, probably quite a few.
Rach and Jake actually, I don't know if they were doing it beforehand, but they put pork in their spag bowl now.
Because
and it's
he did it.
fucking delicious. And milk.
Oh, yeah?
Cup of milk. It's a weird thing.
I don't know.
It sounds bizarre, but I ate it at their place the other week when I was helping to move that afternoon, and it was delicious.
Really?
It was amazing, yeah. It was a really good spag bowl.
So yes, I think you can definitely learn a lot, but I feel like the negatives outweigh the positives.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I feel like none of the negatives are big enough that it is a problem, and it makes you realize that it's a negative while you're using the app,
Mm-hmm.
But I would have to agree. The fact that you judge yourself on everybody's highlight reel. We were just talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
Everybody has the absolute perfect life if you look at their life through that filter of Facebook and Instagram. But you didn't see all the photos they scrolled past in their phone.
No one's going to post. Like, I actually listened to a podcast the other day that said, no one's going to show you what happens before they took that photo. They might be super depressed. And yet in their photo, it's like happy sunshine. Like, look at me, I'm at the beach living my best life. When actually what you're really doing is you're in bed crying with a tub of ice cream. Like, we have no idea.
Yeah.
So people will only post what they want people to see.
Yeah.
Right? But then that's also fucked.
And we're all guilty of it.
We are. But that's fucked too, in a way.
Yeah, it's not
because why are we not posting, like, I'm seeing it a little bit more now, but I'm having a shit time.
Yeah.
And I just want people to know that it's okay to have it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
So my life isn't glamorous all the time. I don't know. I think that's
I don't know about
important.
you, but mine's glamorous every single day.
Is it though?
It's absolutely not. Dimitri's actually pretty honest.
Yeah.
For
But
those
you
that,
look at people who have a big following, right? Like,
yeah, you only see highlight reels. Yeah.
and it's just, I think especially for
It sets a standard to what you think your life is supposed to look like.
younger kids, specifically females, I would say, we feel like, do we need to look like that to be
Valued.
correct?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's a huge fault in social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone, like you say, younger females, and I'm sure that is a big problem. Same for dudes. It is the same thing.
Yeah.
Expensive looking watches, suits, just bought a new car.
Yeah. But see, then people will post that, and it's like, okay, you just got a new car, but did you actually pay for that car, or did you get a loan to get that car? And like, how much debt are you in for that? So
I've always wondered if we would pay for the things we pay for if you had to wear your debt on your head. So if you had to, if at all times as you walked around, there was floating
Like a
numbers
number.
above your head that said how much debt or how much net worth you had, would we spend as much money on cars?
I think that's some people's thing, right?
Sorry, I shouldn't say cars. I should say all sorts of things.
Because I think some people decide that they want to spend their money on cars. Some people want to spend their money on nice bags or jewelry or going out for dinners.
But would you, like, because my thing is, and for those that don't know, stuff like Tommy Hilfiger, that stuff pisses me off. Because the shirts are made in China, just like everything else. They're not better quality. Everyone tells you they're better quality. No single person I've ever heard tell me that it's better quality has any reference as to why it's better quality, other than the fact that it's more expensive and someone else said it's better quality around them. I've looked, they come from the same fucking sweatshops. You can order the same types of cuts and have your logos printed on those, like, very cheap cuts of shirt. When you buy them in bulk, they're cheap because that's just what they are. Sure, there's little things that can be done that make it better quality, stitch count, all sorts of things, but they're not. They're just not. Gucci, like, they're all the same.
I would never spend.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they're
money
all
on that.
they're all the same. So I'd be very curious to know if you had to wear that dollar figure above your head, would you spend $40 on the Tommy Hilfiger
people
shirt
don't care.
or $10 on the normal shirt? But would you what if we were walking through the shops and you've got a plus $2,000 over your head because you've got some debt, but you've got some assets, and if you sold everything you own and cleared all your debt, you'd be net positive. Versus walking around and someone's got a big red 120,000 over their head because they've got a car loan, 3 credit cards, and a fucking half a business loan.
Anyone that has a mortgage would be at least, $300-400 grand in debt.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think it would depend on how society saw it.
Yeah. But do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that just coming, I know we came away from it, but that's essentially it's the opposite of what social media is. It's how honest could we be as a society if we put those numbers above your head, or your happiness scale? If you were, how happy are you? Would you be willing to display that as an icon over your head? Not that I think we should. That's a bit fucking silly. But it'd be very interesting because it wouldn't be what we see on social media. Real life is not social media. I think we need to be very careful when we're scrolling through social media to acknowledge the fact that this is the highlight reel, and it should be very clear that this is not an accurate representation of life. This is everybody's best day.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard from them that day, because nothing spectacular happened that day.
Yeah.
But in 3 days' time, when they posted on that holiday they paid for 6 months ago, all of a sudden you're having a shit day because you're not on the same holiday they're on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit.
But
silly.
they also take photos way in advance too. So like if they're out of things to post, I'm just going to put up this bikini photo, or I'm just going to put up this like throwback photo.
Yeah, and it is what it is. You're right. Yeah. So I don't like it. I don't like it for that. It is just a highlight reel, and it's not anyone's fault.
We've kind of created that. Though,
we all have,
right?
100%.
As a society, we have said this is what we like. If we didn't want that, it would never be a thing.
Yeah.
Right? So it obviously has worked. And the fact that people have jobs out of that.
Yes. Yeah. It's clearly a working algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. How do you feel about it though?
About which part of it?
Like social media as a whole.
As a whole, I think it's good. Oh,
Would you
I've just said it's bad, and now I'm thinking it's good. I don't know.
Here's a
it's such
question
such a tricky topic.
If you had a child, would you want your child to have social media?
Depends on how old they are.
At what age do you think that it's appropriate?
See, because I don't have nieces and nephews and things like that. That's hard for me to say.
Okay, so Taylor and Angus.
But even then, I know very little about Taylor and Angus.
So for anyone that is listening, that's my brother and sister. They're 17 and 14, I think he is.
Yep.
The hard thing is, when they're at school, you don't want them to be the only person that doesn't have it.
Yep.
So I think before high school, not a fucking chance.
Okay.
No.
Not a chance.
No.
What about a mobile?
If they're getting the bus or the train or whatever, yes. And I want you to be independent. However,
why do we always end up with 2 kids on you?
Lucky. No, but it's just a question because I feel like I wouldn't want them to be exposed to that super early. Like their brain is still developing, and then if they're going to have that at the age of 10, 11, 12, and they're looking at these people, because as a parent, you can't monitor what your child is doing 24/7, right?
Yeah.
So even if you think that they're not looking at this person or that person, you don't know what they're doing when they go to their room. So then it's like, do you take their phone away at night? Like,
no, that's
I don't know.
Yeah. So I think with that, you have to teach the kid beforehand how much power that phone has and to respect it.
I think just having like open communication with them.
Yeah, it's hard because it's not like, because they could be the bad guy. Your kid could be the one picking on someone.
And
you know
that's
what I mean?
it too.
Yeah,
Trolls.
it's not. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky subject because, like you said, you don't want your kid to be the kid that doesn't have it when everyone else has got it, because that's going to make them feel shitty about the whole situation. And it's not like giving them a gun. It's not like giving them a knife. It's not this super dangerous thing. Yeah, you need to be able to trust them.
But it could be detrimental.
It could be detrimental, but it could also be positive if they use it correctly. But how well do you bring your kid up?
Yeah, it's hard,
is going to be the interesting thing. Making sure that they know when they put something on the internet, that's there forever.
Yeah. I think the other thing is, like, I'm interested to see how it changes in the next 5 to 10 years too. I mean, it's changed a lot even since we left school.
Oh, yeah. I was telling you about Facebook's been has been sending me memories
Same.
of shit that I posted. Holy fuck, they're embarrassing.
Same.
One of mine was like, got to be up for work in 4 hours. Haven't slept. Fuck my life. I wanted to share it and be like, no one cares, bro. like,
But I think back then, though,
Like-
we used Facebook
I was like
for that.
17.
We'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, mine were fucking stupid too. Like, don't want to go to work today. Or like, I really wish I could dye my hair.
like, just
No
dumb
one
shit.
cares, bitch. Like, why are you writing that?
No one
so
cares,
dumb. But nowadays, like, you wouldn't put that up, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely changed.
Yeah, it's
a lot.
way different, but I don't know.
We can do another one in 5 years' time on social media.
We absolutely could. What else have we got?
Screen time.
So we said we were going to look at how much screen time we had last week.
So last week, I think I didn't have any of my 1.5 hour time limit come up.
That's good.
I hit it today because I had a very relaxing day. So it's not good today, but
How much? What was your daily average today?
today,
Oh, sorry, daily average for the week.
last week,
Yeah, maybe last week.
no, but see that, I think that's the wrong week. Hang on. Week. Last week's average, 4 hours 29 per day.
4 hours 29 per day.
Yeah. What was yours?
Last week,
Yeah.
5:55.
What?
But it also says that I spent, like Wednesday, I spent 3 hours on YouTube, which was the phone open on my desk, me not looking at it.
Listening to a podcast.
Yeah, headphones on, listening to a
what are your
podcast while I
top? What
work.
are your top 3 apps that you
Top-
use last week? And the hours.
You first.
Instagram.
How
4
many?
hours 29
Oh,
total
no.
for the whole week.
Yep.
Turns out my limit is actually an hour for Facebook and Instagram, so that's not bad. Then it was the Move With Us app. So I'm doing an 8-week challenge. So it's that. And then it was Messenger. Text messages.
Yep.
And then Teams, which I use for work. So it's actually, my Facebook time is very little, which is good. But yeah, Instagram, not great.
Yep.
What about for you?
TikTok,
I knew you were going to say that.
6 hours.
Holy shit.
That was all up for the week.
That's more than I use Instagram.
Yes, but the next one down, YouTube, was 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes straight down to Messenger, 3 hours.
Messenger or messages?
Messages, like text, like physically sending text messages. So all out through the week.
Yeah, because we send...
We send messages.
So many.
Yeah, so many text messages. And then Instagram, 2 hours.
What was your change from the week prior? It should tell you up here. So mine says I was up 8%.
Up 21% that particular week.
Holy.
But today I averaged, like, how much screen time did you average today? Go on.
3 hours 13.
It's not terrible. 2 hours.
That's so bad.
It is really bad. We'll clean it up. We'll make an
I
effort
spent
to be
an hour
better.
and 47 minutes on socials today.
An
Out
hour.
of that, three hours.
Yeah, right. Well, you didn't do much today, so that's fair.
48 minutes on Instagram, 30 minutes on YouTube. Jeez. The other interesting thing to look at too is how many pickups,
How many times you physically picked your phone
yeah,
up?
and how many notifications you get.
All right, tell me, how many notifications did you get?
When?
Just pick a day. Was it the last week? Was it today?
Okay, hang on. Let's go. Yes. Oh, 201 pickups yesterday, 170 notifications.
201 pickups yesterday.
Yeah.
Hang on. Day. Back one.
I do.
Sunday. How many pickups?
200 and something. I just got out of it. My average for last week was 171 pickups.
I got 176 on Sunday.
Oh my god. So, okay. Total pickups for the week, 1,199. And then notifications.
Is that total? That's total pickups for the week.
That's total, yeah.
How many?
1199.
I got just over 1,000.
And what about notifications?
89.
156.
Yeah, but you
Because I have 427 messages.
But you also send Snapchat snaps and...
No, but this is like, okay, Teams, I had 240. Bless you. So that's for work.
Excuse me.
And then text messages and Facebook Messenger, the big one. Wow.
So all in all, we should
We're
cut
doing,
back.
yeah, we
So
should
just-
cut back, but
just-
we're doing okay.
Just quickly tell me again, how many hours did you spend on your phone last week? On
Like,
average.
what the average?
Yep. And then is that a high or a low average?
4 hours 29.
4 hours 29. So we'll go
And then,
for
okay, so then the week before that was 4 hours and 8 minutes. However, my social media has gone down. So if I look at the difference between
hang on.
2 weeks, right? Last week and the week before, 2 weeks ago, social media for the week,
Just go everything for the week.
12 hours 44
Yeah.
with an average of 4 hours and 8 minutes. Whereas last week, 11 hours 32. So I've cut down a whole hour and a bit.
Yeah.
And
Hang on.
I'm using a lot more for health.
How many
Stop
hours?
talking over the top of me.
No, because I asked you a question and then you went on a tangent.
How many what?
Hours did you spend looking at your phone? And then you went off on a tangent about the difference between which is
Do
social.
you want to know daily or for the week?
Just the average for the week.
I already told you.
Yeah, but I got lost in
4:29.
4 hours and 29 minutes.
Yes.
That's your average for... Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. You went off on a tangent, so I lost that number.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
What are you?
I don't
You
know.
were 5 hours
but
something, weren't
I'm
you?
doing some math. Hang on. So that's total number of hours divided by
Sorry,
24.
everyone. I'm a bit aggressive because I'm tired.
10 full days you'll spend staring at your phone.
What were you? Because you were 5 hours something.
Yeah. All right.
Is that 10 days a year?
Yeah, let's get out of here. You're grumpy as fuck.
I am not tired.
We'll wrap this up. Next week we're going to come back. We're probably
We're
going
going to talk
to
about SIBO.
We're going to talk about SIBO. Beck's got small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, which is a thing where she's now got to eat disgustingly bland food so that the bad bacteria in her gut dies. And
This
that,
is my last wine for 3 months.
yeah, until we fix that bad boy.
R.I.P. to me.
The other thing I want to talk about next week is your idea about kids learning shit when they come out of school, what they should know.
I think we should do that as a separate episode. I want to do SIBO as a separate episode.
A whole episode on SIBO?
I reckon.
I don't know if I could talk that long about
No, but
gut
even if
bacteria,
we just
but all right.
do it small,
All right.
educate some peeps.
So we'll do that. This podcast has probably not been very high quality to the live stream, so I apologize for that. If you have been watching, it'd be awesome if you could hit the like or subscribe button. But we've had 17 dropouts
What?
because our internet is trash.
Is that why?
Because this building is trash. Yep. Dropout detected 2 minutes ago. These are all 2 minutes ago. So it's just constantly dropping out.
Is that us or people?
It's internet. No, it's just when they're trying to watch,
Yeah.
it'll be like lagging and stopping and starting and
So
yeah.
annoying.
Anyway,
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
yeah, we'll see you next week. Thanks so
Yeah.
much.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.